Hi, this is Prithvi Prabhu, you are 16CS309. I'm here to explain about sorting. Sorting is a way of arranging elements. Here we used to arrange elements in an array, and there are so many types of sorting: bubble sorting, radix sorting, shell sorting. And here we are going to discuss about insertion sorting and selection sorting and how it works using C++ code. Uh, Before moving to the program, let me explain about both these sortings. Uh, Insertion sorting is a method in which the first value will be taken as the minimum value, and it will be comparing with other values, upcoming values, and once you find any value lesser than the first value, that lesser value will be removed and all the elements will be moved to the right, so that we can place the lesser element in the first index, and again during loops it will get increased, and in a way we can just by moving and inserting, that is we are removing the element and we are inserting that in another portion. That is how insertion sort works here. And for selection sort, we'll take an element to be the minimum value, that is maybe the first element sometimes, and then we'll compare with the next things, next elements, and once we find the least element other than the first element in the array, we'll swap that, and the first element will become the smallest. And once this thing comes, again using loop, every element will be sorted. These two methods help to sort the array. So let's see it in the program. uh, Here I have declared a class sorting in which the private data is an array, and I've used four functions, that is insert to insert elements into the array, display to display the elements into the array. This is for insertion sort, and this one is for selection sort. We'll come from one to one. First, insert. This thing is used to get the elements from the user and enter that into the array. And once the elements are settled in the array, we'll go for the insertion sorting as well, or selection sorting based on the user's choice. Displays to display the elements in the array. Insertion sorting. Here first I'm using I is equal to 1, in which we take the second element, that is 1. Usually the array starts with 0, so we are taking the second element as key and j as -1. Now we are taking j is 0. We are giving a condition over here: j is 0 and key is less than a of j. That is j is 0. Now it is by default j is 0 only, so this condition works. We have put and not or, so the other condition should also be true, so that we can proceed further. And key, that is the second element. If the second element is lesser than the first element, then only this further thing will move on. Or like if the second element is greater than the first element, no need to sort it again, right? So the second element should be lesser, that is the key should be lesser than the first element. And here j is actually 0, so we are declaring that a of, once these two conditions are correct, true, these two conditions are true, then a of j plus 1. Here it is j plus 1 means the index position 1. A of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. That is, we are replicating two things in the zeroth position and also the first position. We are replicating the element, and once it is done, the j will be reduced, and already here j is 0. So while if the loop runs again, the condition goes like j is less than or equal to 0. So here j will be -1. So automatically the loop closes, and then for the next step a of j plus 1 is key. Here j is minus 1, so j plus 1 means now it is a of j plus 1 is 0th position. We are putting the key which we have stored earlier, that is a temporary variable. Key means actually first we selected the second element. So once we place the second element in the first position, it automatically gets sorted. And again for the next loops it will be done again and again the sorting, and at last all the elements will be sorted in the manner which is like here I've used ascending order, so it will be sorted according to the ascending order. If you want to change, we can just change it to descending order too. And we are using a selection sort here. Let me explain about how it works. Here we are not taking any elements, but we are taking the index. First in this loop I've given I is equal to 0, and I've stored that index in another variable called m. Now m will also be 0. So inside that I'm putting a loop here in which I'm declaring j is equal to I plus 1. That is j is array of 1, and j should be less than 5 because only 5 elements. And if you notice in the previous loop I've given this thing I should be less than 5 minus 1, because once in this process once the elements get sorted, the last element will be already sorted, so we don't need to sort it again. So I'm giving it as 5 minus 1. And for second loop j is equal to less than 5, and this thing j plus plus. Now a of j should be less than a of m. That is the second element. A of j means it is a of 1. If a of 1 is less than a of m is 0 here, so the first index element, if the first element index is lesser than the second index element, then we are assuming that m is equal to j. That is the minimum. We are saying we took it like a minimum, so now m becomes 1, that is the second element now becomes a minimum value. And again the loop runs, and once when it again and again it will be running, and if any other portion, any other element is lesser than this element, that portion will be taking the minimum. And at last when all the elements are compared in the array, and once it finishes off, we are going to swap the first, that is a of 0, first element, and this thing new m will be found, that will be the minimum value in the array, whole array. So automatically it will be swapped, and the first element will become the least. It automatically becomes like that, and again loop runs, and all the elements will be sorted in this manner. I'm using normally choice, that is for a switch case, and I'm calling this with the help of objects. See over here like this, and I'm asking the user for insert or selection sort, and once it is done, the array will be displayed. So let's see the output. It is asking for the elements. I have given the elements. It's asking for a type. I am giving insertion sort 1. See, it is getting sorted, and again we'll check for selection sort. Now we'll give selection sort. It is arranged. So like this, each and every array can be sorted, and these two methods, and there are few other methods too, and for the program here we've used only 2 methods. Thank you.